Live, episode 228. As always, I'm JoJo Keys, sitting here with my buddy David Werba. How's it going, man?
Good. I saw this post on social media a couple days ago, and it said, when you sit on the toilet, it's like your butt is connecting to a network of other
What
butts
was that?
all over the world. I thought that was great, man.
It's like the Matrix or something.
Yeah, that was your post, Joe, and I thought that was hilarious. I was laughing, dude.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's pretty funny. Well, speaking of a global network, we have some good music on tonight. Rasheed Cole was from France, actually, a French rapper with "Want to Get My Life Back," and we also have a featured artist from LA, Misao McGregor, going to be talking to us and checking out the song "When You Go Away," and then also a indie kind of jam sort of band that submitted the music on the website, Donnie Alexzander with "Dark Days." So let's see. What have you been up to, Dave? You're looking old. We were talking about how if you go through our timeline of shows from 2000, 15, 16 to now, we're getting old.
Yeah, it's slightly depressing. Yeah, I have to be honest. I mean, I had a goatee and a beard only a few years ago, and it's pretty much all dark brown and black.
Same for me, man.
Yeah, it's like I hate. I'm just nothing against Rob because he has this kind of beard right now. I just don't like
for a
the
long time.
I don't like the in transition period of a beard where it's like half gray. I can't wear a beard right now, man. I have no choice. So,
All right,
and I'm
well,
not going to I'm not going to be the guy that dyes his beard. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, my uncle was the worst at that, man. He'd come in with like jet black hair, and it's like, come on, everybody knows that doesn't look like that, dude.
I know.
Like black and red all at once. What is that?
Yeah. So.
All right, Rasheed Cole, "Want to Get My Life Back" from France. Share this video out. Let us know what you think in the comments. We'll be right back.
Gotta stick my eyes on screen to get some news. Hoping we should start a player. All guys can make this mess and look down. Everybody's going around. Break down. The whole system's crashing down. I just wanna get my life back. Yeah. I don't wanna have any title anymore. I don't wanna live apart from my friends, from people I adore. Yeah. These heads of state are sending the ways. No one knows what's going on here. Pop on the left on the right. No one knows what's happened here. Let the leaders play the games. Why some die behind the scene? Come on. I just wanna get my life back. I wanna get my life back. I don't wanna have any title anymore. I don't wanna live apart from my friends, from people I adore. Yeah, come on. Have somebody have a party. And talk to folks I never ever seen before. Cause everybody gives my life a sense. Let's stay strong together like so. Yeah, pick myself up toilet double like a tsunami. Make a club within the streets and stuff a place to be. Finding dating words for sure you never seen. Panic by hurting feeling seen bad movie. Heard enough, I think space for rain. Move it on, let's suspect the shame. I gotta stay home, I gotta wear a mask. This is my job and fight all the rest. Rip to the people who've lost all around the world. Yeah, God bless you. Let's go back to the music. I just wanna get my life back. I don't wanna have any time to look anymore.
That was Rasheed Cole with "Want to Get My Life Back." Indie Music Live, episode 228. We've been doing this for well over 5 years now. So we got lots of videos on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe, check us out, and turn on that notification bell. Dave, you're into French rappers, right?
Kind of, man. I was really trying to inject myself into this guy's I don't know, kind of mixing brain. I think he's definitely a fan of 80s R&B, Michael Jackson in particular. And God, what the heck was Michael Jackson's producer? I can't believe I forgot his name right now. What the heck is his name, Joe? I have to
Quincy
look this
Jones?
up now.
No.
Yeah, Quincy Jones. I
Am I
think he's
right?
I think he's a huge Quincy Jones fan.
Who
And
is it?
you
I mean,
could just in terms of like the cadence of his delivery and just the a lot of the fills and just, you know, basically the rhythm section of this music. I really hear a lot of that style in there, and I think he would be happy to hear that type of feedback because I would guess that's kind of what he's feeling. But yeah, it was cool. It was definitely cool, man.
I like the production on it overall too. One of my favorite things about it is the have like sort of the chord movements, the chord progression. It's not your typical dance sound. It's a little more meaty, and the harmonies are a little bit cooler, I think, myself. But yeah, good stuff. That was a free submission off the website. Anybody can submit their music on the website, indiemusicplus.com, submit music tab. And I got some new reviews coming out soon too. Just posted Limberlost, which you heard our thoughts on that on the last show. So let's bring in our featured artist of the night, Misao McGregor. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, Misao
Good, because I'm not
McGregor.
that smart. So
Oh, give yourself more credit than that, you know?
no. Anyway, so you're from LA and you you submitted your music, and you're how old are you? You're pretty young, right?
I'm 24.
Nice, cool. So we're gonna get deeper with Dave in a little bit and find out more. But can you just sort of give us your elevator pitch and about who you are and what you're doing with music, and a little bit about when you go away? We'll check that out and we'll come back and get deeper with Dave.
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Misao McGregor. I'm a singer-songwriter based in Los Angeles, California right now. I was born and raised into a musical family, but started writing music on my own when I was 12. And that was sort of when I started figuring out, oh, I have a voice and I really love telling stories, and songwriting was a great way to do that. And also as a queer, non-binary, mixed race, second generation Japanese American singer-songwriter, songwriting has also given me a platform to be able to speak about my multiple identities in that way. And so with When You Go Away, I actually released this in May. And at that point, we had sort of been on lockdown for about 2 months. Everything was still kind of crazy and confusing. And I wanted to do something that was going to bring people together virtually. I went to college on the East Coast, and so I unfortunately have not been able to see any of my friends since I graduated. And so a way for me to connect with them during this time was to have this idea of doing a music video that was virtual. I sent everybody the song and had them film themselves dancing along to it or baking, anything that was bringing them joy, because at that point it just felt so sad and lonely and desperate and confusing. And so I wanted to be able to infuse a little bit of joy and reconnect with my loved ones, even if they were far away.
Very cool. Well, let's check out that video right now, shall we? And we'll be right back. Indie Music Live, episode 228.
What are the chances of sleeping in when we rise so early every now and then? It's nice to feel your body warm when your mind has been so worn. Wish I could kiss it gently till you smiled again. When you go away, and I still wait around. When you go away, and I'm still looking for you to be found. I kick myself for waiting up. You tell me just go back to bed. Somehow I'm still afraid I'll never see you again. We fell in love so long ago, and now that roller coaster ride is taking its sting. Not without passion or laughter or joy, just a different kind of pace. Wish I could frame that feeling, love the moment that I looked and knew that I would never look away. Go away, I still wait around. When you go away,
That was beautiful. All right, so I'm feeling like maybe like a Natalie Merchant, Sarah McLachlan little flavor going on, but I feel like you're kind of dipping your toe into that pop scene, into the waters of the pop scene. And it's maybe a little too cold. You don't want to jump in completely because there's just a little flavor of it. So I wanted to kind of talk about that first in terms of where you feel you sit in the whole indie slash pop crossover place and where you want to be, or are you just kind of experimenting with it?
Yeah, I mean, with that song in particular, that was very much me still experimenting. Within the last like 2 years, I started self-producing my own music. And that was a whole learning experience for me to sort of figure out what do I want my sound to be like? Because up until that point, it was just me at the piano. And so it was like, I know what that sounds like. That sounds like every other singer-songwriter, which I love. But I was also like, okay, with production, though, you can start to, mix up the genres and things like that. And so with that song in particular, I definitely have more pop leaning tendencies. But I think I actually recently released my debut album, Kid in the Corner, in December. And that one itself is, I think, a bigger step in like terms of growth from When You Go Away in terms of that sound and figuring that out. But I still like to be able to, I don't know, make music without genres or without labels, because I grew up in a musical family, but my parents are classical musicians. So I grew up in the classical world, running around backstage behind the orchestra, and
Yep.
then learned. My brother plays jazz piano, and so I got those influences. And I think I just sort of wanted to be and continue. I want to be like a sponge and just sort of take in everything, and sort of keep exploring that way. So
Yeah, I mean, I started playing piano when I was about 5, and Joe's been. Is that about when you started, Joe? Because you
12.
started in 12, okay, but you started with some classical training, is right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe. Yeah, so I think it's. I've talked about this often with friends where I think if you're going to become a multi-instrumentalist or a producer or write songs after that, I feel like piano, in my opinion, is always been the best place to start, just because it's linear.
yeah.
It's like you learn in this linear manner. It's all kind of laid out in a row, and you could extrapolate that to a guitar with 6 strings or different instruments like that. That's just been my experience. What do you think about that? Do you agree?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I took piano lessons maybe at age 6. And so I was put in like classical training and everything, and then got into singing in different choirs. So I learned music theory maybe 3 times over. And I was like, oh my God, this is so boring. And so I became the worst piano student ever. I feel so bad for my teachers because I just never practiced. And instead I would just come into lessons and they'd be like, all right, show me your scales. And I'd be like, I would really love to be able to just like talk about this thing that happened in my life. And I'm like 7 years old, and they're like,
Yeah.
what drama are you experiencing at this age? But that was the thing. Like music was always therapy to me. Like I was, lucky to have sort of like the somewhat technical training, and as much as I was, able to embody it. But music as an art form has always been like so much more about, the emotionality of it, what it does, how it connects people and stuff. But I'm super grateful to be able to play piano and to sort of be able to go through genres like that.
And that our artistic brain apparently has kind of evolved into becoming a playwright. I thought that was really cool. I was
Yeah.
flipping through your website, which by the way is misaomcgregor.com, misaomcgregor.com.
There you go.
Yeah, you could see all her stuff. I mean, you could even see the chip on her shoulder on her pictures page in the form of Bernie Sanders, a miniature Bernie Sanders sitting on her shoulder.
It was too good of an opportunity to
I know.
miss.
The meme explosion like no other.
Really.
But the becoming a playwright, it's I mean, you've actually won some kind of like some indie awards here. Hello Kitty and a bunch Dandelions Conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about that. Just like how that kind of fits in your career moving forward, and how you balance it with the music.
Yeah. So I went to school in Connecticut. I went to a small liberal arts institution, And I studied theater and music. Those were my two majors. And while I was studying theater, I really fell in love with playwriting. At first, I genuinely thought I was terrible at it, because my our teacher like wasn't giving us any feedback. So I would send in, my assignments, and he'd just be like, "All right, all right," and I'd be like, "Do you have any thoughts on it though? Like, can I improve on anything? Is it horrible?" Like, and over time, he was like, "You'll find out. You'll discover that later on." And when he finally was like, "No, I think you have something," it just sort of clicked in a way, because I've been writing songs, and why not write plays as well? And at least with playwriting, it's offered me so many different opportunities to I'm kind of a dork, and I love research. Like, I love learning about new things and sort of just like delving head straight into a project. And so with plays, I've been able to do that with characters and with different historical pieces. Like my college capstone piece, I researched Japanese internment camps and wrote sort of like a personal play where the grandmother was an internee and things like that. And so I think that part of my brain that's just like always constantly curious comes up as a playwright, but then also as a musician, because I mean, I just want to keep writing songs and keep exploring what I can do.
All right, so you can look back on this video in 10 years to the
Yeah.
answer to this question of what do you feel is your greater calling as you sit today in terms of playwright versus music?
Oh my God. It's so hard to choose because to me, they're very different worlds, at least right now in this part of my life. Obviously with everything locked down, like theater is not happening. It's happening virtually. And I've been a part of that, but it's not the same thing, and same with music. But at least with music, I think because I started to learn how to produce and be self-sufficient on my own during this period of isolation, I learned how to do all of these different things like mixing and doing self-promotion and things like that. So at this point, music feels like a thing that I can do without other people helping me a lot. That sounds horrible. Not like I've got it all figured out, guys. No. No, but I think with music right now, I've found that I can develop these skills on my own. Whereas with theater, I really love like the collaboration that you have in a rehearsal room. And I want to get back to that point with music, to be in a rehearsal room and collaborate in that way as well.
Gotcha. All right.
Ooh, saved that answer.
Yeah. We are going to move on to the next song here. So I had mentioned the website there. I encourage people to go check it out to see all of your cool, crazy stuff compressed there in one place.
Thank you.
How about social? Do you what are some of your handles on social media where you're active?
I'm most active on Instagram, and that is Misao_McGregor. Again, MISAO_MCGREGOR.
Okay.
And I have a Facebook page. You can try. I may not respond. I'm so sorry in advance.
That's all right. All right. We'll be keeping an eye on you, Misao. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Rob, if you're ready to rock, we're going to cue up Dark Days by Donnie Alexzander. Let's do this.
On me, 'cause there is so much happening. I wanna tell you everything, so goddamn desperately, but there is never a good time. Dark days sustain fragmented images
right. So that was Dark Days by Donnie Alexzander. I mean, this was like a cool kind of college rock type of vibe. I can see this, playing at dozens of colleges across the country. And the reason I wouldn't say 100 is because of a couple things that kind of stood out to me. I thought the vocals, the delivery, the songwriting was, I really liked it. Reminded me of like early Shins, the band The Shins, which I love. And I encourage these guys to listen to them if they don't know about that band, to fill in some of the gaps where I've talked about this a bunch and, in past episodes where an electric guitar is driving the rhythm of a song. It's very difficult. It's really difficult to do. Maybe they're a 3-piece. I'm not sure. I didn't look up their bio. But what I would recommend that they take a look at, maybe explore, is have a separate track that's kind of driving the rhythm of like this song or maybe other songs, where it's some simple, just kind of almost like reggae like type of rhythmic patterns, and then the melodies he's playing in the song, have them be kind of sparse melodies on top of it, rather than have it try and all be in one track. To me, that detracts from the song and what he was trying to do, and it was like somewhat cacophonous because of the way that he mixed it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Joe, what do you think?
Ditto. No.
Ditto.
That's a good song. I mean, that's their indie raw rock, jam band. They had some good melodies in there. I really liked when the chorus or whatever you call it came in, as opposed to the other parts. But yeah, I mean, it's sound quality isn't like top 40, but I don't think it really needs to be. Of course, it's indie, and
Yeah.
like you said, dozens of colleges are probably playing this song all over Wyoming.
Yeah, but it's
Oh, no.
worthy of hundreds, I think. So
No, good stuff. They seem pretty green and pretty raw, but definitely some some potential there. So,
cool, man.
David, any final words this evening before we head out?
No, I think that's it, man.
That was
I
a
think
big
that's it.
sigh, man. You okay?
No, it's just just thinking of all the stuff I have to do tonight. I'm like, I don't know, but yeah, good times.
Cool.
man.
I'm gonna watch some old Frasier reruns and see where it takes me. So,
Ooh, would you-
Misao, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Robert Hicks Video, thanks for making this happen, even though you're out of town and in a weird hotel office space thing. We're not
Joe,
live
I think
tonight.
this
We
may
were-
have been the first time we saw your wife on any show.
Yeah, I
in
know.
history. She walked by
Yeah,
the
she
door.
came home. I forgot to shut the door, so my fault. But anyway, we won't be here next week. Once again, we'll be here February 8th. I think is going to be our next show. So keep your eye out for that, and we'll be seeing you then. Have a great week.